Friday Night Football, Gary Swallow.
Yes, sir.
Last one, regular season is coming down.
Yes.
Let's see.
Oh, gotta get some volume.
Volume sounds good. Volume
Yeah.
sounds good. That is it.
Man.
8 weeks have come and gone. We have some Saturday games before we get to Sunday.
Right.
But Friday Night Football and Thursday Night Football are done week
Right.
8. How about some action that you've heard of tonight? I know you're excited. I know you're fired up for Sunday's playoff brackets.
I'm ready for the brackets to come out because I am so excited. I'm so ready to get to, and I hate to say this because Thanksgiving is not here yet, but I'm ready to get to Christmas because after Christmas we're going to be in the dome. Good Lord willing.
Yes, sir.
You know, I'm excited, but the brackets are going to come out Sunday. I can't wait to see where some of these guys are going to be
Yeah.
and who they're going to be playing
And
against.
Holden, LSU plays at 11 a.m. That's why there's no recap show in the morning.
That's right.
Sam Bacon just tuning in. Big win tonight for Sam Bacon and that Basile Bearcat football team.
Right.
I know he's pumped up there, bouncing around. Natty Lights going down smooth tonight like water.
Man, I wasn't able to go with y'all, but I watched it via the stream, and I'm going to tell you right now, Basile looked like they were on cloud nine. They were playing way above their head. I was so impressed to watch them. All I can say is congratulations, Coach, and all of the Basile Bearcats and their fans. Great job tonight. Like I said, I just couldn't believe that they were so explosive and so pumped up. It was awesome.
For sure. Before we get going any further, I want to thank a couple people. I want to thank you for allowing us to use your studio, Holly for controlling the camera, and Sam Bacon for getting us in tonight to stream. And we want to thank Shavonda Chris for allowing us to come down there to Madison Prep last night. Talented quarterback over there at Madison Prep.
Saw that, man. That was very good. I was very impressed with that game too.
Yep. So let's get down to it. Friday Night Football. We have some scores from around the state. We have a slew of canceled games. It's up to 50 games that got canceled this week. Teams that did not play tonight.
I was just so when we talked about that, it was 40 whenever we first had it, but now it's up to 50. That's just so shocking to me, and I'm not really sure as to how to cope with that because I'm so used to the football being everywhere, and it's just unbelievable.
Yeah, for sure.
Unbelievable.
First game of the night to go over, and it was a classic. Centerville played Highland Baptist, and that final score will be Centerville coming out with a 7-point victory.
Wow.
Centerville 40, Highland Baptist 33, Gary.
That just tells me that, man, they had some offensive firepower. I mean, that looked like it was a back and forth game through the whole thing, and then it looks like Centerville just came out at the end and scored last, I guess, and it came out. That's what it's looking like.
Yep, Shavonda Chris just joined the stream. Shavonda, we just thanked you a few minutes ago for allowing us to come down there Thursday night, and just told Gary how talented your son was. So can't wait to see where Madison Prep falls in the playoffs.
Right. Hopefully we'll get a chance to see him one more time.
Yeah.
You know, maybe even in the dome. Can't ever tell, man.
Madison Prep, Jennings, or Madison Prep, Lake Charles College Prep has a ring to it.
Right. You're right.
All right, Catholic Appointed P. St. Ed's District 1A title was on the line. This game was played at Blue Jay Stadium. Hornets coming in. They've won the district title for the last couple years. But this was St. Ed's best football team they've had in recent years.
Right.
We had a split here. You went Catholic, I went St. Ed's.
Right. It was a tip for that, and I'm gonna tell you, they're both good teams, but I just had a feeling that the spread was gonna just be too much for St. Ed's.
Yeah, for sure. So final score from Blue Jay Stadium. It is Catholic Point Hornets, district champs. They beat St. Ed's tonight 35-21. That was a 7-10 seed. could they flip those seeds and play again in the first round? Keep an eye on that Sunday. We might have a rematch there between Catholic of Point and St. Ed's. But congratulations, Hornet football team. We look forward to seeing where they fall at on Sunday.
Yes.
Sacred Heart Trojans back from COVID. They are back from COVID.
They were chomping.
Yes, and they took their frustrations out on North Central tonight. They were excited to play Sacred Heart 53, North Central 12. Big win there for the Trojans going into the playoffs. Confidence.
Right.
Episcopal and Port Allen, that was also a district title game. Episcopal was traveled to Port Allen. This was going to be Port Allen's toughest test of the season.
Correct.
Episcopal is playing damn good ball.
Episcopal is playing lights out. I mean, this has got to be. Episcopal's always had good tradition and stuff, but this is one of the best Episcopal teams that I've seen in a while, and they're playing up there. They're doing really well.
For sure. Port Allen playing with a lot of confidence though.
Right.
But this one would go to Episcopal of Baton Rouge tonight. Episcopal of Baton Rouge stays undefeated, and they look to crack the top 4 and try to get a bye in the Division 3 playoffs next week. So keep an eye out on that Episcopal team. They can make a lot of noise in that playoffs.
I believe they could. I believe they should. They deserve to be in the top 4.
Yep. Episcopal 31, Port Allen 18. That is a final score from Port Allen High School. Catholic New Iberia. We were cautious on Catholic New Iberia. Rebuilding year, started out slow. What kind of Catholic New Iberia team we were seeing? New coaches. What's going on over there? But they
got it together.
They've got on a winning streak, and they're playing their best ball moving into the playoffs. They hit their stride.
Right. And that's the key, is whenever you get towards the end of the season, you want to get your district going, but you also want to be playing at your best ball, try to stay injury-free, and it looks like they're doing that so far.
And when teams hit their stride going to the playoffs, that's the best kind of feeling whenever you're waiting on Sunday. So Catholic New Iberia beats Franklin tonight, 49-32. So big win for Catholic New Iberia.
Most definitely.
We thought this one was going to be a lot closer, Gary. Notre Dame Pioneers would take on the Eunice Bobcats at Bobcat Stadium. This one was top 3, 318 versus a top 4 Division 3 team.
Right.
Notre Dame, Eunice, you just love to see that matchup because it's 2 great traditions. Both of them won the state championship in the last 5 years. In Notre Dame and Eunice, it did not live up to the hype.
No, it was just totally one-sided, and that shocked me because I thought it was going to be a lot closer. But at the same time, I think Notre Dame they needed a statement game, and I think this was their statement game going into the playoffs because they had that heartbreaking loss to Lafayette Christian. And they only lost this year, right? And they just needed something to get them back on track, and I think that's pretty much what happened.
Let's talk about this real quick before we go to any other games. Newman was 1, St. Charles was 2, LCA was 3, Notre Dame was 4, Episcopal was right out at 5.
Right.
LCA finished the season with 1 loss. They play a bad team last night and run the score up, okay?
Right.
You have Episcopal beating a 1-loss Port Allen tonight.
Right.
You have a Notre Dame beating a 1-loss Eunice tonight. So let's say that one of these 2 teams could jump LCA in the playoffs.
That's possible. That's possible.
Because of who they play week 8.
If you look at what they're doing now, will it happen? Play devil's advocate. I don't think it will. But if it does, it wouldn't surprise me, and it's well deserved.
Yeah.
I mean, they have been playing very good ball, and for that game right here, Episcopal, like I said, Episcopal's doing well. When you see what they're doing and they're dominating, they can flip any one of those teams. They can just jump them.
Yeah. I'm very excited to see Division 1 in Division III.
Correct.
Those top 6, top 5 teams in both of those divisions, either one of them can win
Right.
state.
They're very, very talented.
Very competitive
Yes.
districts, playoff.
Right.
All right, moving along with the games from tonight. It is Kaplan Kaplan did they just win 4 in a row to close the
Right.
playoffs?
They put it on tonight. They've been playing good
Or
ball.
5 in a row?
I think it's 5. Isn't
5
it?
in a
This
row.
is the 5th one. Man, they've
So
just
they
been playing
started the
good.
season out 0-3
Correct.
and have won 5 straight or 4 straight.
Something to that
How
effect.
about them Pirates from
Right.
Kaplan? We talked about Catholic New Iberia hitting their stride. Look at Kaplan.
Right. And they didn't just beat this team. Now, don't get me wrong. Lake Arthur is struggling, but they put it on them.
Yeah.
They just put it on them and didn't look back.
Yeah. Final score, Kaplan 41, Lake Arthur 7. Here's something to look at. Kaplan might get in as a high seed. If you're in the 3A bracket, you don't want to see Kaplan
No.
first round if you're a top 10 team.
No, you really don't. Their defense is questionable against a solid offense, but their offense has not been stopped in the last 4 or 5 games.
Correct. And they've run through district
Mhm.
opponents, and now they play, I would say, a down Lake Arthur team, so their confidence is sky
That's
high.
high, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kinder, the Yellow Jackets all over Benton tonight, 48-7. Is this the year that the Kinder Yellow Jackets get back to the Dome?
They have a good shot. I remember last time they were in the Dome, I was pulling for them, but they came up a little short. I just have a feeling that they're just gonna make a lot of noise. That's all I can say. I think they're gonna make a lot of noise, and it's gonna be very interesting to see how they do that.
We are very excited for this next matchup, Pickering versus Oakdale.
Right.
And I went Oakdale in this one.
I don't remember what I did. I think I went Pickering, didn't I?
Correct.
I went Pickering. Yeah.
And this one,
That was a toss-up, though.
a barn burner here.
Right.
Both teams lightened up the scoreboard tonight, but it is the Pickering Red Devils winning that game 46-37. So Oakdale falls in the final game of the season. So moving along, Manny, they are currently ranked number 1 in the state of Louisiana in Class 2A. They would play a red-hot 5-2 Bunkie team tonight. You like that Bunkie team.
I like Monkey. I didn't pick them, but I like them.
But Bunkie, I didn't think they could get their 6th win against the number 1 team in the state, and we were correct.
You were correct.
We ain't correct often.
Yeah.
But tonight, in that pick we were, Manny all over Bunkie tonight, and they look to establish their 1 seed going
Right.
to the playoffs. Manny 49, Bunkie 17.
And well deserved, man. He's been playing some great ball, great consistent ball. I just can't say anything about, but they're doing an awesome job.
Well, let's see if you're a little shocked on this score. E.D. White beat Lutcher a few weeks ago. St. James beat Lutcher by 3. Tonight, St. James shuts out E.D. White 31-0. What a statement win for the defending state champs.
Let me tell you something. E.D. White has always been a team that would give people trouble. They did not give St. James any trouble. St. James just went in there and said, "We're the defending state champions. We are a force to be reckoned with," and they did it. I mean, I can't say anything more than that. They just
They put
Put the
all
hurt.
the 3A on notice tonight.
put the hurt on them. Yeah, they're coming back.
They said, don't forget about us
Right.
whenever Sunday gets here.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Crowley. They're going to finish the season with no wins. St. Martinville, big win tonight, 54-14 over Crowley. St. Martinville, a quiet team there in 3A. Yeah, 3A. Quiet team to look
Yeah.
out for.
They're St. Martinville. They're better than people give them credit for, and don't underestimate them. That's all I can say.
Iowa against St. Louis. A lot of people thought this was going to be a competitive game, a lot
Yeah.
closer than what everybody thought, and this one did not. Iowa 32-7 win over St. Louis.
I wasn't familiar with either team. I knew Iowa was pretty decent, but I wasn't familiar with St. Louis too much. But I was expecting a closer game than that myself.
Breaux Bridge Bulldogs started the season 0-4, 0-5.
Yeah.
And they have rallied the season and might have saved their coach's job. They have won 3 straight to end the season and have given themselves a spot to get into the playoffs. Breaux Bridge upset win on the road tonight. Breaux Bridge hands Livonia a 22-20 loss. Grant said Livonia was picked off in the end zone with less than a minute to play. So how about Breaux Bridge with an upset win down there in L-Town tonight?
Man, I'm gonna tell you, Livonia. If you would have asked me that, I picked Livonia. I know there's no way that I would have thought Breaux Bridge would have been competitive against Livonia, let alone to beat them how they did, and then to have a defensive stand at the end of the game when Livonia was driving. You know what? That just tells me that high school football and high school sports, you never know what's gonna happen.
Correct. Stephen Miller, we find out playoff brackets for all 9 divisions on Sunday. Still waiting the official time for that, but we'll be glued to the computers and phones to find out those brackets.
Right.
Cecilia, one of the hottest teams around right now. Cecilia scoring all kind of points, but Cecilia relied on their defense tonight.
That's what I'm saying. That surprised me. They didn't score as much as I thought.
Cecilia holds the Ritter and beats the Ritter 21-3 tonight.
Right.
So the red hot Cecilia Bulldog offense only cracks 21 tonight, but it's still enough to move on to a win and go into the playoffs. So Bulldogs, watch out for the Bulldogs in the playoffs.
You right on that.
All right, Turlings, big win tonight over Northside, 56-0. Turlings is big win last week over State Martinville. Rolled tonight over Northside. So can Turlings make some noise in that loaded Division II playoffs? I think it's a 2-man or a 3-man race there. I think it's St. Thomas More, ULAB, and De La Salle. What do you think?
I'm with you on that. I think Turlings getting into the playoffs is going to be automatic. They're going to get in there. They might even make it to the second round, but I don't see it beyond that.
Yeah.
I think, like you said, I think it's a 3-man or 3-team race. Get on there.
Next one, it is Upset City, baby.
When you told me that, I couldn't believe it.
Como, Rain, final score, Como, they get their first win tonight. They close out a win for their seniors. Final score, Como 32, Rain 21, big upset there.
What gets me though is that how could Como play so up for that just this game, and how could Rain just go? I mean, did Rain just not think that Como was that good or what? I mean, you just got to think about that. But man, that I never would have thought that. Not by that school.
No. How about this next one? The powerhouse, the premium, the team of the state of Louisiana, John Curtis Christian Academy, Gary Swallow. Everybody anybody knows who's John Curtis.
Right.
John Curtis ran into the #1 seed in Division I tonight in a district showdown. So Brother Martin looking to stay perfect on the season. They're looking to go 8-0. They're looking to hold on to the 1 seed going into the playoffs and Division I, which is wide open.
Yeah. That may be a rematch.
Could be a rematch. But tonight it is Brother Martin handing John Curtis their 4th loss of the season. 4. Brother Martin stays perfect, goes 8-0, and we'll have the 1 seed going into the playoffs. Final score, Brother Martin 38, John Curtis 35.
Right.
Game-winning field goal, Gary Swallow.
You know, I got to give Brother Martin credit and everything, but I also got to give John Curtis credit. John Curtis, during this pandemic, they didn't just sit around and say, oh, poor pitiful, they're going to play. They played competition. and they went out and got the best competition that would play then. And yeah, it gave them, this is their 4th loss. I've never seen a John Curtis team with 4 losses, I don't think, in my life. But I gotta commend them for that, and I'll be honest with you, I think it's gonna help them for the playoffs. I think they're gonna know exactly what to do, and they're gonna come back being stronger than ever. Now, will they win the title? I don't know. You don't know, because it's wide open.
Yeah.
But that's a great. I gotta give kudos to Brother Martin, but I gotta give kudos to John T. Curtis too.
Destrehan, Hineville, it just sounds right. It
Right.
sounds like a semifinal matchup. It sounds like a state championship matchup. Destrehan, state runner-ups from a year ago. Hineville, state runner-ups from a few years ago.
Yeah.
Both of these teams are looking to get back to the promised land. Both of these teams are looking to get the state championship this year. Destrehan, Hineville, something had to give, but it was Destrehan coming out with a big win tonight. Final score, Destrehan 36, Hineville 23. I'm very
Yes.
curious to see if Destrehan falls on the same side of the bracket as Acadiana.
That is going to be interesting, because if they do, then that's going to be an interesting matchup, because they played for the state title a few years ago, Destrehan and Acadiana, and I would love to see that. And I know Destrehan would be like, oh no, it's Acadiana, they're so good, but then it'd be like, yeah, we get a chance to go at them again and, you know, try to get some revenge. But Destrehan's got a good ball club. They got a lot of good tradition out there.
Let me ask you this question. How good is Central of Baton Rouge? Only loss this year is to the 2 seed in Division I,
Right.
Scotlandville,
Right.
by 6 points.
Right.
So their only loss came to Scotlandville. They beat Live Oak tonight 35-3. So how good is this
Yeah.
Central football team? Can they compete in that 5A bracket?
I think they can. Live Oak and Central, they're rivals. They're not far from each other. You know, they're one's Devon Springs, Watson area, compared to Central Baton Rouge. Central has always been tough, but they've had bad luck in the playoffs. This is probably one of the best Central teams they've had in a while, and I think they could make a run. Now, are they dome material? Only time will tell.
Yeah.
But they're strong enough to make a good run towards the dome. Yeah.
Well, how about the defending state champs? A week ago, down goes Acadiana to Catholic of Baton Rouge. I've talked to people from Acadiana all week, and they said this is the worst they've ever seen Acadiana play in quite some time. Acadiana doesn't play sloppy. Acadiana plays disciplined, hard-nosed football.
Right.
So we talked about it on the show Tuesday
Right.
and said, if you're Lafayette, you wanted Acadiana to win last week.
Correct.
And now that Acadiana went down, it was bad news for Lafayette. And Lafayette only cracked the scoreboard once tonight, and on the offensive side. The other one was a block punt, scoop and score.
Right. That was their first score.
Correct.
That was the first score.
Go ahead.
When you have a team like Acadiana that's got tradition and they're ranked, you know, #1, and they've been playing all of these teams that are, you know, talented and they've been winning, and you come away from a game where you didn't play your best. There was some issues, you know, that we talked about last week that maybe didn't go 100% their way. They had 2 touchdowns called back, this, that, and the other. And so they probably had a bad taste in their mouth. And then all of a sudden you have Lafayette High right in front of you
For the district
for the district championship. Guess what? It's going to be a long night, and it was.
Yeah, it was. Final score, Acadiana 34, Lafayette 12, and it looks like Acadiana might hold on to that 1 seed.
Oh, I don't see anybody to take that away from them.
Yeah.
That's going to be #1 no matter what.
We talked about Marksville being on the bubble. Marksville needed a win tonight. They were on the bubble to make the playoffs, and Marksville comes out and beats Caldwell Parish tonight. Final score, Marksville 26, Caldwell Parish 22. How about Marksville knowing their season is on the line and coming out with a close victory tonight.
That tells me that they knew what was on the line and they fought for it. That was one of the most important things that they did, and I think it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about a Wichita Christian, Denham Springs. We said, can the 1A powerhouse come down here and beat a 5A team tonight? And that just proves that it doesn't matter what division you are. A Wichita Christian is the real deal, folks. A Wichita Christian 47, Denham Springs 21. So a huge statement program win for Wichita Christian.
Wichita Christian, I remember back in the day when Port Barry was in the same classification when everybody played, and we had to go up there and play them a couple times. I'm gonna tell you right now, that is one hard team to play and win because they are so disciplined. They remind me of a small, and the reason they're small is because they're tiny. They remind me of an old Evangel, an old John Curtis, a Calvary Baptist. Wichita Christian is up there with that group, and it's just that they're in single A or in their division. And I'm gonna tell you right now, no matter what they say, that is a top-notch program up there in our weekend.
Arch Manning seems like he had another big night. Will Newman hold on to the 1 seed? That will be something to look out for Sunday. Will LCA fall to that 4 seed and set up a LCA Newman for the semis, or will they stay around the 2-3 and set up a potential state championship with Arch Manning in the greens against the University of Lafayette Christian Academy?
I'm gonna tell you, that would be one of the things that I would love to see. I would love to see Newman and Lafayette Christian in the finals. But I would just love to see Lafayette Christian and Newman play. Whether it's here, there, everywhere, I don't know. But in the finals, that would be great. But you got a lot of other teams that are just as good. And that division right there is wide open, I think. I think they're going to have a lot of competition in it. When you're dealing with the teams, you got Lafayette Christian and Notre Dame both in the same division, right there.
Correct.
And Newman,
St. Charles, Ascension Episcopal.
So you got six people, six teams right there, or 7 that can actually come around and just compete. Now, can they knock off until you beat the champion? They're still the champions. Can they knock off Lafayette Christian? That's the big question.
And I think Newman LCA is the perfect matchup for that state championship, but 6-man race, like you said. So we will have to keep our eye on that one.
Right.
You want to talk big upsets tonight? You want to talk about identity for this Haynesville team? Who is this Haynesville team going into the playoffs? So the final score for Haynesville and Homer beats down on Haynesville tonight 36-8. So how concerned should you be if you're a Haynesville fan going into the playoffs?
Very concerned. Homer is not that good as far as compared to the expectations of Haynesville. Haynesville should have went in there and handled business.
Correct.
And they didn't. That's really scary. That's really scary.
Yeah.
Did you find out who that?
Canceled.
It was canceled?
Yeah.
Oh.
Where we at? And
Oh.
right here in front of us, just got back from Oberlin High School. There, we got there around, I would say 6:15, and didn't think we would have a spot. Found us a little spot in the corner bleachers, and they had some short bleachers. They wouldn't let nobody on the other side of the stadium. They wouldn't let us in the press box. They wouldn't let the radio guy in the press box. Radio guy did his broadcast from the bleachers tonight.
Oh, wow.
I did my live stream from the bleachers tonight.
I kind of noticed that when I was watching it, whenever something happened, it would bounce.
Yeah. But let's talk Basil Oberlin for a second. What an outstanding, entertaining first half it was. Back and forth they went. a late score from Oberlin, we thought, okay, Oberlin's gonna take the lead at the halftime, momentum is on their side.
And they get the ball back, you know.
Get
and
the ball back to start the second half, but don't tell Horace Edwards and Ethan Bassinet that, because they broke one. I think it was Edwards that broke one and set his team up in the red zone.
It was awesome. It was, I know it was it was 50, right at a 50-yard run, 40-something yard run, I don't remember.
And then you just trying to run, see if you can bust one. You didn't think you was gonna actually break one, because they've been gobbling you up majority of the first
Right.
half. And then next thing you know, Edwards breaks loose, gets his team inside the red zone, and a couple plays later, number 4, Cole Amo finds number 20, and his tight end on passing
That was
touchdown.
a beautiful pass,
With
too.
what, 4 seconds remaining on the
Correct.
game clock, huge momentum going into halftime, and you just start, okay, kick it away, and we will go into halftime, foreign, no kickoff return. And wouldn't you know, a fumble recovered by Bazil, momentum was already shifted, and it shifted
Even more.
huge.
Right.
So,
I watched it, and I'm sorry, I apologize to Sam Bacon earlier. On paper, I looked at both of them, because I'm an X's and O's type guy, and I looked at them, and I saw, Port Barry, I was on the sidelines when Port Barry played Bazil, and I was on the sidelines when Port Barry played Oberlin. And I looked at them, and I said, Oberlin's got the edge, that's why I picked them. And I'm gonna tell you right now, Sam, I apologize again, but y'all were up to the task, and Oberlin, I don't know, that was just something, and I don't know if Oberlin overlooked those guys, but I tell you what, that was the worst thing to do, because Bazil played possessed ball, and I am so proud of those guys, and whenever I made the pick, I told you this, I said, I'm gonna pick Oberlin, but I want Bazil to win.
yeah.
I said it just like that, and I picked him, and I got my strike against me for the pick, but I'm glad that Bazil won.
3-point lead going into halftime, all the confidence, all the energy, all the momentum was on the white and red side, and then,
Well, the kickoff. When they kicked off the Oberlin drove the ball down the field and scored.
that's what we're getting at. Oberlin comes out of the second half with vengeance, and comes straight down the field and scores a touchdown. So we said, oh man, this game is far from over.
Right.
Oberlin just came out and made a statement. Well, wouldn't you know, Bazil came back and answered with one of
Immediately.
their own, right down the field.
Immediately. It didn't take long at all.
No,
And the one time, it was I think the next possession after that, when they stopped them. That was the first time, I think, Bazil stopped Oberlin that whole game.
first time we seen a punt.
And the first time we seen a punt, and then all of a sudden, it was like, okay, this is the beginning. And that's when everything shifted. And the score just started, separating.
Yeah, defense played their asses off in the
Right.
second half. Offense moved the ball with surge. Hats off to that offensive line.
Most definitely, most definitely.
Yeah. And when you have a chance to finish a game, you go and finish the game.
Right,
You
and
don't-
that's what they did.
You don't say, oh, let's just try to kill some
Kill some
clock
time,
and
yeah.
put it away back to them. This team said, oh no, we're going down and we're gonna put another one on the scoreboard. And this team exactly did that, and I want you to go
Yeah.
back and listen to that call I made. If you can listen to that whole sequence, you're gonna be like, wow, what a call.
But the thing about it is too, is that, honestly, I think Bazil could have scored again.
Correct?
They could have scored again. If it wouldn't have been for them to say, okay, victory formation, let's go ahead and do it. They could have put another one on the board. But the sportsmanship came out and they said, okay, we're gonna just kneel it. And because they didn't have a point, anything else to prove. They were up by, so much, it was unbelievable. But that was awesome. That was an awesome game.
Yeah, for sure. And look for the playoffs brackets to shift, because Oberlin was ranked number 3
Great.
going into tonight, so everything will shift. Haynesville loses again, so you have some numbers
Yeah.
and some teams that's gonna drop
Well,
and move
when
around.
you look at, especially that district, you know, you got a three-way tie basically for first place.
Yep.
But you know, this one beat that one, that one beat that one, that one beat that one. It's just, so you got a cluster. But who is gonna get the edge? I think, honestly, I think Basile did enough to get in the top 8, maybe even a little bit higher. I think Oberlin's gonna probably drop down, and then, you know, who is it, Grand Lake?
Yeah.
Grand Lake's gonna in the mix there too. I don't know where they're, but you're gonna have 3 teams from the same district probably be in the top 8, or definitely the top 10.
1 top 5, 2 top 8.
10, yeah, at least. So that's gonna be a very interesting bracket right there. See where they go.
Yeah. All right. We got all we had off of that one right there. Let's talk Thursday night scores before we close this out. Opelousas Catholic, big win. They were flirting around the playoffs with a 14 seed, 16 get in there. Westminster, last chance to get in the playoffs, falls to OC. OC 47-7 win there.
OC is gonna be solid in the playoffs. They're gonna be all right.
Ascension Episcopal facing Generate. Ascension Episcopal trying to finish the season undefeated, and that's
They
what
did.
they do. They rolled 50-0 over Generate. Delcom versus Homa Christian. Delcom just looking to finish the season off for their seniors with a big win.
And they did.
And they did. 54-13 win for Delcom.
Mm-hmm.
LCA, how many times are they going to crack 60 this year on the scoreboard?
Well, they did it again. It's their machine. Until somebody beats them, they're the champions.
Yeah. Lafayette Christian Academy, 63, Welsh 7. Pay attention to where they see Lafayette Christian Academy
Right.
Sunday. I'm thinking it's going to be between 2 and 4, so we have to keep an eye on it. Abbeville, big win over Berwick after losing to Kaplan last week. They win 45-14. Abbeville's going to make
Yeah.
the playoffs.
They should, yeah. Don't know how long they're gonna last, but they're gonna make it.
Yep. Last night, we went to Madison Prep versus West Feliciana and streamed that game. And
That was a pretty good game.
Zion Chris, the quarterback for Madison Prep, had 4 passing touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown. So, big night for number 19, Madison Prep. Big win, 38-20. So, they're a top 5 team.
Right.
Oak Grove proves why they're the number 1 seed in 1A. Big win, 52-22.
They're a machine. I think they're gonna do really well. You're gonna have a good defense to stop them, to slow them down.
Lutcher, close win over Patterson. That was a thriller, 37-35.
Yeah, that's the type of game you like to watch.
Yeah.
Respectful.
Karen Crow, Westgate, folks. We have our concerns with Karen Crow now,
Right.
don't we?
I really do.
Final score there was Karen Crow 31, Westgate 23.
I think that loss to St. Thomas More really took a lot out of them, but it's like, where's the defense? The offense is pretty stout, but where's the defense? You know, what's going on with that? You have to, in order to be a champion, you have to stop some people, and it's like, the last 2 games, they had no idea about how to stop it, and that's concerning. That is concerning.
Yeah, they should go into the playoffs top 3 though.
Oh, they should be. Oh yeah, I say at least top 5. You know, top 3 is good, but I think they should be at least 3, 4, 5. You know, and that 1 or 2 maybe not, but yeah,
And,
at least.
and hope they have pieces fall into their place and they don't have
Right.
somebody fall on their side of the bracket that doesn't need to be there.
Right.
And God forbid if Karen Crow falls to 4.
You're right. That would be bad.
Yeah. Well, that is a wrap up of our scores, Gary. Gary,
Mm-hmm.
any last words on what you've just heard through the scores?
No, not really. Pretty much, it's gonna see. We're gonna have to wait till tomorrow's games and tomorrow's finals and everything. But the brackets are gonna fall where they may. It's just I'm anxious to see exactly how they position each of the powerhouses and see how they put them in there and who's on. Because you know, sometimes you have one powerhouse on this side, and you got three on this side, and these three have to kill each other to get to that one, and it's gonna be interesting to see where everybody goes.
The most exciting time of the year.
Right,
Playoff season is upon us.
the brackets are almost there.
Practice is almost here. We are itching to get to Sunday.
You're
But we're
right,
not itching that much because that means Monday's work.
that's right.
But Thanksgiving is next week, and Gary, I want you to tell Holly what is the goal for high school teams all around the state of Louisiana? What is the goal for high school teams?
The
Let's
high
see-
school
Let's
team-
see if you can hit this one on the head on the nail.
Once you make the playoffs,
Yes.
your goal is to get to the dome, baby.
Nope, before that one.
Oh, before?
Before you,
To be playing either on or around Thanksgiving. You got it, that's basically it. The goal for every team that we've ever had and that come in contact with, their goal is to play after Thanksgiving, on that Friday. Their goal is to play on that Friday. Now, the overall goal is to get to the dome,
correct.
but you wanna be playing the day after Thanksgiving.
You wanna play on Thanksgiving
Thanksgiving
week.
week.
You
Yeah.
wanna practice that week when school's out.
Mhm.
You wanna have Thanksgiving with your family
Right,
and your teammates, cause I know the coaches feed them. And
right,
then you wanna go and say, I'm playing football on the day after Thanksgiving.
right. That's important, that is a goal.
That is a
That
goal.
is a goal, and every high school team has it, unless you're one of the ones that has buys, but it's still the same principle.
Correct,
You're in the hunt, you're playing it, and your goal is to get there,
correct.
so it is what it is.
Outstanding recap show tonight. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanksgiving is next week. We will be somewhere. We will be somewhere streaming, and we will give away some free stuff on Tuesday. It will be some gift cards and maybe even a turkey.
That would be good.
So get ready, folks, for the live stream picks show. It is gonna be epic playoff week. Gonna try to get as many people as we can over here to make picks. It's gonna be epic. I can't wait. Sunday, we will do a live stream show breaking down the brackets and letting you know all 9 divisions, who's playing who, where the locals fell,
Right.
and who just missed the cut.
Right, and Tuesday, we'll be making our picks.
Tuesday, we'll be making our picks, and who knows? Yep.
All we gotta do is, and I'm gonna tell you this, from me to everybody, all that, just say some prayers that we don't have any COVID
Yeah,
issues.
we didn't mention that.
If the bad part about this is that once all these brackets and everything our playoffs get, if someone gets diagnosed with COVID, they forfeit, their season's over with. And, I don't wanna see all the hard work that these young men and these coaches and everybody that's put forth, get ended because of a sickness. That's the hardest part, so prayers to all of you guys, good luck, stay healthy, and, do it the right way on the field.
Alrighty, folks, that will do it tonight. My name is Jordan Taylor.
And I'm Gary Swallow.
Holly Revere in the back making this possible tonight. I want to say thank you, everyone. Best of luck to the teams on Saturday, and congratulations to all the district champs around the state of Louisiana.
Right.
We will see you Sunday, folks.
Yeah.
Have a good night.